The Saints are in Southern California, and so are we. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is Erin Summers here in Costa Mesa, California. It's joint practices between the Saints and the Chargers heading into the preseason game coming up on Sunday. But we got some good news when we came out to the field today, Erin. The Saints appear to be getting healthier.
It was really good to see guard Andrus Peat, linebacker Demario Davis, running backs Kendre Miller, Kirk Merritt, and of course, tight end Lucas Kroll back on the field. They were dressed, participating in some parts of practice, so hopefully we'll see them on the field in full capacity soon.
Well, you mentioned the practice, and it was a very competitive practice between the Saints and the Chargers today. Here are the head coach and the Saints talking about it.
It's great. It's great seeing different looks. Like we came out here, you don't watch film on them. You know, you just come out and just, hey, we're going to play a new defense, trust your rules, all that kind of stuff. And that's fun because it allows you just to play football, some unscouted kind of things. Thankfully, I've played these guys a couple times in my career. So, I have a little bit of background, but they're doing some new things, some nice things. But it's a lot of fun competing against them.
Really good practice. I mean, obviously I was over on the defensive field for most of the practice, so I can't really speak too much on the offense. I think you got a pretty good rundown from Derek on what that looked like. But I thought defensively over there it was pretty good. Guys were competing. We made a few plays. It's a really good team that they have. They got a good quarterback. They got good skill players. So it was a great opportunity for us to get out here and get better.
We're out here. We're trying to get better. And you sort of love the idea that you can come out here and literally have the most perfect weather type of day ever. Light breeze, 77, 80 degrees out. They're talking about it's hot. You're laughing because they have no idea. That's a competitive edge. We started off with pods, which were good for us. Anytime you can compete against another NFL team, it's great for competition levels.
Well, Erin, as both teams worked on separate fields, the Saints offense versus the Chargers on the east field. Here on the west field, it was the Saints defense against the Chargers offense. I had a chance to watch the Saints offense work. And again, what stood out to me, it's a broken record out there, people. Wide receiver Chris Olave was just absolutely fantastic, especially in one-on-one drills, as he was really cooking Asante Samuel Jr. They had a little rivalry going today, but Chris Olave continues to impress.
I mean, that's Olave. He does that in practice. He's even if someone else catches a ball on somebody, he's walking in the middle of them talking trash. That's Chris. And so, it's all good. It's all good competition. I thought this was one of the cleanest, joint practices I've been a part of. There was no chippiness, but it is day one. People will be more sore tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully nothing crazy.
As far as teams 11 on 11, a lot of back and forth. Chargers did some nice things, but the Saints did as well, especially in the 2-minute and in the red zone.
They did some good things. In the red zone, we did some good things. Third down, 2-minute, go down. They had some big plays. We had some plays. Like that's what these things are. That's what they should be. And when you got two good teams going back and forth like it has been in camp. Our defense versus our offense. It's been back and forth. It's been a lot of competition, and I fully expected that over here with this defense because I've played them, man, and they're a good group.
Erin, you were able to watch the Saints defense here on the west field. What'd you see?
As far as the ones-on-one, the Saints defense held up pretty good against quarterback Justin Herbert. He was moving quickly, so he was able to get the ball out, not a lot on the pass rush, but they were able to shut down the play as soon as the catch was made. There were some really good plays made down the field. Later we'll talk about those, but here's Cam Jordan working against Justin Herbert.
Red zone, I think there was a clear showing out right there. In terms of 2-minute, you can't let them mosey on down the way they did. A lot of quicks, a lot of whatevers, but at the end of the day, if we want to be a top-tier defense, we have to have an answer for every type of offense that we see.
Well, Erin, we've been talking about it all training camp. Big emphasis for the Saints defense, forcing turnovers, and we did see that today.
We saw 2 takeaways by the Saints defense. It was Nephi Sewell who knocked the ball out of Austin Eckler's hands at the line of scrimmage. Marshawn Lattimore was right there on the scoop and would have been a score had we been keeping track. So that was good to see. And then later we saw DeMarco Jackson with an interception. Great to see some takeaways. When the second unit came in, it was Malcolm Roach on the line who really established himself, getting a lot of pressures. He had a sack. Here's Cam Jordan talking about how good Roach has been this training camp.
Malcolm Roach is his 4th year in our system, And he has found his niche, if you will, and knows how to make these big plays. And mentally speaking, again, he's at a refresh point, it seems like. He looks like he's reinvigorated with the game.
As far as special teams go, I was able to watch Blake Grupe kick on the East Field. Now, a little bit of a difference here as Grupe was kicking through uprights, which are basically half the regular uprights. He had another outstanding day. We're out here for 5 days. Obviously, the team wants to get some work with the joint practices on Thursday and Friday. Of course, the preseason game on Sunday. But there's also a method to the madness when you're talking about the team hanging together.
The team is, for lack of a better word, stuck at the hotel for most of the time here outside of practices. So they're spending a lot of time together, whether it is doing dinners. I remember last year in Green Bay, we saw the specialists playing cards together. So they're spending a lot of time bonding, and they hope that it translates to the field.
Well, that is going to wrap it up. We'll be back here on Friday right here at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex for joint practice number 2 between the Saints and the Chargers. For Erin Summers, I'm Todd Graffagnini. Thanks for being with us here on Your View.